Very good morning to all of you. Very good morning to our guest of honors, Professor Dr. Lu Chikong, Deputy Director of Union Center of Innovation and Commercialization, Dr. Sri Pietro, Chairman, Connected Healthcare, Mr. Navin Ganapal, Senior Audience Manager, Microsoft Malaysia, Mr. Tisi Pun, Trainer and Tech Advisor, Microsoft Malaysia, Mr. Yap Benjon, from MMU, come Android Trainer, Mr. Teo, Connected Healthcare. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for your time. Okay, before we start the briefing session, I would like to invite Prof. Dr. Lu Chikong to give a welcome remark. Prof. Lu, please.
Connected Healthcare Chairman, Dr. Sri To, Connected Healthcare CEO, Mr. Teo, Senior Audience Manager, Mr. Navi from Microsoft Malaysia, and all of our guests, welcome. We are delighted to have you here to participate in the first AppStorm Grand Challenge. So we are EMCIC, the main organizer of this event. So I understand many of you are coming from very far distance, right? So this shows, how important you feel about this event. So this is our pleasure to get to host you here. So the main aim of this apps competition actually is to channel the creativity and innovation into the usable apps, right? Of course, the main another objective is to help to bridge the gap between the academics and the job market. Okay, so this year we set a theme of this competition as fitness and wellness. So we are looking forward to many usable apps from all of you, and I wish you all the best. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Lu, for the short briefing. Okay, next, I would like to invite Mr. Navin Ganapal from Microsoft Malaysia to give some briefing about this AppStorm, as well as Microsoft role in this AppStorm Grand Challenge.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'll just basically tell you roughly how we're coming to support this contest. So most of this kind of development contests in the country, how we support it is a lot of technical support. So people like PC, my colleague there, helping you understand how to use technology. Free software, in the case, for example, if you are students, you actually are covered under the Dream Spark program. They only give you 3 years worth of software, which includes the full suite. We also encourage you to become an MSP, which is a Microsoft student partner. It's like a technology ambassador. The perk for that is you also get an MSDN software suite as well. So the MSDN software suite or MSP it's a far more bigger suite than just what you get on DreamSpark, because it also includes cloud computing quota and much more other software. If you're on the startup side, we encourage you to get on the BizSpark program. That's again 3 years worth of free software. So that's one way we support the software side. The other way we support is in market access. So what we're looking for is that there are very good apps that come up from this program. We can help you to market it through all the Nokia stores in the country, through Harvey Norman's. We also have a concept called Universal Apps. That is a single code that works on the PC as well as on the phone. So you code it once, you output 2 different formats. Advantage for that is that we can get you onto things like PC Fair, because PCs are running the apps as well. So if this device works with the phone, it can also work on the PC. So the advantage is that you have a bigger market share. So we can push it to Harvey Norman's, Challengers, Thunder Match. If the app is good, nothing's stopping. And these are free market access, there's no cost to it at all. So if you need help for that, it helps you a lot. Now we also know somebody when we're developing on iOS and Android, there's no issues because we also promote cross-development of platforms. So we have third-party tools like Xamarin, there's also others open source like Apache Cordova, there's also many more out there. And also upcoming, if you notice, the latest version of Visual Studio has something called hybrid apps, which allow you to develop iOS and Android in Visual Studio. So that's still in the CTP, but it will be released soon. So the idea for this is that while we help you to market on the PC side, you can then take advantage of that marketing to then promote your iOS and Android, because it's a branding issue. If someone knows existence of Candy Crush, they will look at other platforms. So if you have My Health app on the PC, some will also look it on the Galaxy, they also look it on iPad because your branding is already there. So we're trying to offer you market access as well as technology support. Device loan, you let my colleague know, TC, if you need help in terms of loaning device through the development process, you need Lumia, we have. You need a Surface, we have it. If you need help for like clinics and all that, let us know. You come to our office, we can do a one-on-one with you. We're also trying to work with to run app workshops on campus so that you can come and participate and understand the basic foundations and then go to specific technology needs. For example, we have a technology called Health Vault. It's an online cloud-based solution that allows you to sync data to the device. It works across iOS, Android, and Windows as well. So it's a cross-platform tool. So TC will go more into detail about how you can do that, and when we do the actual workshop later, you will then learn how you can do it. So any other questions, just let me know. We'll try and see how we can help you through our market access. Again, it's free, and software support as well as loan support and technical support. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Navi, for that good briefing. Okay, before we start our briefing today, let me recap on our agenda. Okay, there are slight changes in our agenda. So the first training session basically is window open training, will be conducted by Mr. TC Poon, and it's followed by tea break. Okay, during the tea break, we are going to have 2 tea breaks. So during the tea breaks, basically it's a time for you to collect the wireless activity tracker device. To basically to get the device, you have to register at our counter, at our reception counter. So you have to fill up your particulars. So you'll be given the device. So once you fully utilize the device, which might assist you in terms of developing this application, so come back to us. You have to return the device. If not, I think there are small penalty. So it's basically stated in the document, so you can have a look at it. Okay. There will be an Android training. It's will be starting at 12 to 1, followed by lunch, and from 2 to 2:45, there will be a AppStorm Grand Challenge briefing. So after that, you'll be having a tea break from 2:45 to 3 o'clock, and followed by iOS training by Mr. Alex and Mr. Theo. Okay, I think first I will hand over the stage to Mr. TC Poon for the first briefing session. Mr. TC Poon.
I guess I want to see it straight. Or I want to turn off some of the lights. That's better. Okay. Hi, my name is DC. I'm currently a tech advisor in Microsoft. But before I proceed, I want to know who is doing Windows platform. Okay. Alright. So my first topic is more to a openness, where how you guys can store data inside the hardware. So Microsoft has one service called Hardware, and this is accessible for everyone and is open to every platforms, including Android, iOS, Windows Phone, or even your web services, all your websites, PHP, Ruby, they have the binaries online available for you to download. So what is this Hardware? First I'll play a video and see. Do we have all these output from this? I really care about something.
Or get help taking care of the health of your family. You've come to the right place. When you sign up for Health Vault, you'll have one place to access all your healthcare records and information when and where you need them. And you'll find new, more effective ways to work with your doctor. Online health tools play a big role in bringing the power of Health Vault to life. These websites offer features that help you get more out of your information information and take your health to the next level. Some tools let you add valuable information to Health Vault. For instance, you'll find pharmacies, labs, hospitals, and clinics that connect to Health Vault to let you update your record with medications and test results. Other tools might create reports with your health information that let you track your progress and look for trends so that you can see the big picture along with the details. And some tools can work with your information to offer education and recommendations that will keep you at your best. That's the great thing about Health Vault. You only need to gather your information once, and then you can use it in all kinds of ways with all kinds of tools. You'll be better able to work with your doctor to monitor, share, and organize what matters to you. Whether you're managing a chronic condition, preparing for your next appointment, tracking your child's immunizations, or just taking control of your fitness and health. And you can even share any part of your health record with anyone you choose, whenever you like, to make sure everyone's in the loop. Probably wondering about security. Microsoft aspires to the highest standards of security to safeguard your health information from theft, loss, or damage, whether you're using it privately or you choose to share it with someone you trust. Click this button to sign up for Health Vault today. All of your health information will come together in one place to work in your direction. You'll have information to make smarter health choices and have the power to be a better mother, father, son, or daughter, and take better care of yourself and your family. All courtesy of Microsoft Health Vault.
Okay, in a nutshell, Health Vault is an electronic medical record database for you to store, to process your medical records. So what kind of records that can track? Medications, allergies, health history, fitness, which we are doing for this project, blood pressure, lab results, condition, illnesses, x-ray, scan, and a lot more. So you can basically put everything that you need in this project to Health Vault, and it's provided free of charge. And who is currently using Health Vault? You might or might not know. Let me see. I'm going to zoom this in just now. Right. Apps like Fitbit, Moves, these two are quite hot at this. I guess in this 1 or 2 years, they're quite hot, and they store data on Health Vault, and all the data can be retrieved and processed on every platforms. Fitbit has recently just launched on Windows Phone, and their presence on the other platforms like iOS and Android are able to connect. Right? There are a lot more of the third-party apps that are currently using Health Vault. Right. So for users, besides of using apps, they can use the smart devices, right? Like those connected, like the Wi-Fi blood pressure monitors, or even the some others like the wearables from Fitbit or from all the other vendors are able to connect to the Health Vault. So from a user perspective, right, this is the user profile that you're able to see. Like, for example, this is my own profile. I can able to see how many steps I took. I haven't synchronized back to the server, so my step for today is 0. And also the exercise and all the others that you can put in. Right. For this project, your data that you're able to collect from the Bluetooth record, right, will be the steps and how many exercises that you have taken. Right. But if you choose to use a built-in sensors, like any iOS developers here? One. Android? All the rest? Or how about the others who didn't raise up their hands? Are you guys doing well? Oh, okay. Alright, so regardless of which platform you're using, right, there is a place for you in Microsoft. Right, for this one, you can store data. You don't need to worry about how to create a new database. You don't need to build your own database, SQL or anything. Right, just store it, keep it, and it can be used cross-platform. So we saw from the user perspective just now, how about the healthcare professionals? Right, the data needs to be shared. Right, the healthcare professional won't be using the portals both the GUI is basically it's a web base, right? To show what kind of data has been collected, right? For healthcare professionals like doctors, if you're planning to do much more complicated systems, right? They will use HelpBot as a source, as a database source, right? It will retrieve the EMR and also from the provided products which you will create it, and also custom apps, regardless it's mobile or desktop or any other platforms that you want to build. So HelpBot data is following a standard XML, HL7. If you follow the if you are familiar with the medical's term, the HL7 I believe is currently used by Malaysian government as well. CCR, CDA, CCD, and for US standard is HIPAA compliance. So there is no worries about how the data can be processed and how the data will be stored, because it's all compliance with the global standard. So previously there is a competing product, Google Health. So Google Health has been discontinued since earlier last year. It's the 2nd of January 2013. And the data, if you still have it with you, you export it as a CCR XML. You can import it to HelpBot. So far, there isn't any as complete, right, as HelpBot in the market. For developers, open source library, and when I talk about open source library, means that these are really open source. You can see what are the source code inside, right? It has iOS, Java, and Android, Windows 8, Windows Phone, and if you are developing for others, Drupal, PHP, Python, Ruby, all are available. But if you are developing outside of this, no worries too, because it's actually transmitting XML over HTTP, which is a very standard HTTP web request. Right? All this information can be found at the URL down there. At the end of these sessions, I believe the organizer will send you the PDF files, right, that I will include, and you guys can refer what are the informations inside the website. All right, any question for HelpBot?
Is there a requirement that we need to use HelpBot in the PR grant?
There isn't any requirement for that. The reason why we suggest to you is because it's easy to use, it's readily available, you do not need to rebuild your system from ground.
Just from the database standpoint of view, right?
Correct. And also the connectable, as in if you are using a device, right, you want the other user to be able to share the same data across, right? And there are a lot of apps currently in the market is already using. You can create your own one, but you will not be able to share your current data with another apps. Right? I am not a fan of those kind of fitness or healthcare, but I know there are a lot of people who outside are using HelpBot as the source of database.
Can I use another data format other than XML? Can I use a JSON?
Okay, so these are the current data standards. If you want to use JSON, you might need a conversion of the XML. Yeah. Which platform are you planning to do on?
Passing XML is very tedious.
Correct. That's why if you are building on this, if you are building on these platforms, the libraries are ready for you to use. You don't need to compile or you need to pass the XML, as tedious as it is. And of course, prior to this has existed for so many years, many people don't know its existence. And prior to JSON, people are using XML. Any other question?
Is there any pricing or HelpBot?
It's free.
It's free. So, as a developer, if you develop the system, how have you managed all the data of our patient? For example, we develop an iOS.
Right.
Then we want to take the data for our patient into our application, and then do the mining, do the reporting there.
Okay, so for this one, there will be a shared, which means that there are two ways of communication. The first is from your application, you receive the data, then you forward it to the user's HelpBot database, right? This is the input, right? From your apps, from your tracker to the user HelpBot database. And then from the user standpoint, if they want to export to you, they can choose to do it. But if your app is already receiving those information, you can also copy the same data out. Right? What I mean is, if let's say you have two apps, the first one is to retrieve the data, and the second one is to display the data to your healthcare professional. Then your second app, you need to build a trust. Right? You need to get a permission from the user, as what the introduction video shows you earlier. Right? Your healthcare provider needs to get access by creating a bridge. You need to create a bridge to the user database, and you can retrieve the data periodically. You can retrieve it every hour or even every day. How you're going to submit the data or how you're going to retrieve the data is up to the user whether they want to give you or not. Because this data belongs to the user and is private and confidential. Right, so if you are building your own one, you might think that, okay, so I'm going to build my own database. So how will be the implication on the healthcare standards that the current system is going to use, and how you're going to make sure your data is safe, is compliant with the current standards. So in this one, the security features is there as well.
So technically the ownership of the data lies with the user
By the user,
and not with the application developers.
not to the developers.
If you use therefore.
Correct. But if you want to create your own one, you can also copy the same data, which means that you pump two at once. So what those apps currently using is that they have their own cloud services, they store basic data. Those data cannot be sold because those are private data. And they have another one which is connectable to HubWall. So to make their life easy, or to make your life easy, store or offline data on device, because the device is with user, you are safe in terms of compliance. And then your backup, by your online backup, you can store backup also. Right? Any other question? Yes, I'll take the last question before I move on. Okay, I'll go to the next. Right, the next one will be more towards the Windows Phone related. The first will be the Lumia Sensor Core. So Lumia Sensor Core is one of the API that's in your iOS, your iPhone 5s has one tracker, I don't know what it's called, and it's only available from 5s onwards. And for Android versions, only specific vendors has it, right? You need to find out from the manufacturer whether this supports or not, right? So I'll show also a video on what is a Lumia Sensor Core.
Nowadays, people want to collect more data about their lives and analyze it and find ways to improve their lives. They're collecting data about where they go, what they are doing, how much sleep they are getting, how much exercise they are getting, what they are eating, and how they spend those calories. There are many specialized devices that provide this kind of information to the user. But one device you always have with you is your smartphone. And the smartphone can now tell a lot about your activities and places you're visiting and how you spend your day. Using the Lumia Sensor Core SDK, developers can tap into these resources and use it in their applications. Using the SDK, developers could create various type of applications. The obvious one would be fitness and health type applications, where the activities detected by the SDK would be mapped against various targets, and the user would have a chance to measure and try to improve those parameters. In an enterprise environment, you can think of situations where the movement of the employees would be tracked, analyzed, and then patterns would be identified to help optimize their movements in certain areas of the cities. The sensor core SDK relies on dedicated hardware with low energy sensors that can run all the time without the user having to turn on and off different sensors to set battery life. In this first release, the SDK contains 4 APIs: the step counter, the activity monitor, the place monitor, and tracks. The Activity Monitor API provides information about the type of activities the user is performing. It can tell you, for example, if the user is running, walking, or simply sitting at his desk playing the smartphone. An application can react to the activity status change. For example, when the user starts running, it can change the UI so that the buttons are bigger so they can actually be used on the run. The step counter API provides information about the number of steps the user is taking, whether running or walking. It works both outdoors and indoors as it doesn't rely on GPS information. The sensor core collects information about user's location and tries to identify the places which are important. It will try to identify the work location, home location, and various other places which are usually frequented by the user. It's not just the places, we are also collecting information about patterns of his movements around the city, for example. The data collected by the sensor core is stored locally for up to 10 days. As soon as you install application from the store, it already has access to the user's 10 days of activities and locations. The information collected by the SDK may be perceived by the user as being sensitive. In order to protect its privacy, the user may decide to go to the settings and turn the data collection on or off. It may also delete the data already collected by the sensor core SDK. Privacy is fully under the control of the user. The SDK and documentation are now available for download, and we are looking forward to see what we are able to create with them.
Okay, Luma Sensor Core is quite efficient, as in power and memory efficient. I've been trying on it for a few days, and so far it doesn't. I don't feel like any battery issues, and I don't even feel anything that I'm running or install or is it using my resources, right? One of the features is also a secure data storage. I'm not sure about other manufacturers, but for Sensor Core, it has secure its data storage, as in it encrypts data. And if you lost a device, you won't be able to retrieve what kind of data is stored. Right? It also has 10 days of a history of data has been stored. What kind of data has been stored is like in activity monitors, it captures whether you are either in, like, if I'm sleeping, I put my phone down, or my stationary in one place. If, like, for example, I'm around here, it's put in as stationary, or am I walking from here to another block of building, or am I running? Some other competing platforms or apps like Move's app, I use a Move as well on other platforms. Right? It can track cycling, it can track driving. Right? Those are using extra algorithms. Right? You guys can try to do that as well. But if you are using a sensor core, these four are provided free of charge. On other manufacturers, you will need to think of how to use the gyroscope, how to use accelerometer to build this activity monitor. Right? Second will be step counters, how many steps that you have taken. Of course, online there are a lot of example sample code that teach you how to calculate the steps, but not all are accurate. Why I say so, I got a Fitbit as well. It's a Fitbit 1. I put it in my bag. I travel with the day. I travel with my phone as well in my pocket. Right? Every time I walk, it increased in the step counter one by one. Right? But in the end of the day, sometimes I drive, sometimes I ride. The step counter is not accurate on Fitbit due to the algorithm that you use. You need to filter out a lot of stuff. But with Sensor Core, the step counter is much more accurate than even the external tracker. Right? Place monitor is a third feature which you can set it yourself, whether you are at home or at certain locations. For example, if you are doing this project for university, you want to track if whether the students is actually lazy or they like to run around, or if they just put it aside if they didn't use it at all. Place monitor will detect the GPS positions, your position, where are you, combine with the activity monitor and step counter and provide you with more details. Track point monitor is a point of journey. For example, if you run from point A to point B, right, the data, the polygon itself will be mapped. And how often it is mapped is up to you to decide. Right? Of course, there's a limitation on how frequent you can collect the data. Geofencing is the one that when you enter a certain locations, like for example in the place monitored you said home and workplace and perhaps the library, for example, it can trigger some actions. Right? For example, like I enter a library, I will get 10 points, then the app pops up and shows a notification. Congratulations, you've come to library, I'm rewarding you with 10 points for running here, or for walking here, or for sleeping in the library for 33 hours, for example. So you can make up all of this scenario, combine with the features that's available already. It's very easy to use. In case you don't know, you can go and search online. All developers say that, all developers agree that Windows Phone is the easiest to develop platform in the world. If you don't trust me, you go try yourself, you'll know. It's not just me, everyone tells me that. You skip a lot of codes. Right? I can show you some of the data that you retrieve, but perhaps later, after the session ends, because I can't connect with this VGA to save the time. I can show you what kind of data is currently showing to me, like how many steps I've taken and in 7 days, 2 days, or even in 30 days. All the data are stored on my device securely, and it is also connected to HelpWord. Once I press the connect button and I sign up, and all the data transferred to this app, right? And it also displays the other data such as my Fitbit trackers. Right? Currently, sensor core is available in 3 Lumia devices, 1520, 930, and 630. And the one that I'm using is 1520. The lowest end is 630, which is quite affordable. Right? It's a kind of mid-range to lower-end range of Lumia device. Right? We have a few reference apps that you can refer, like Bing Health and Fitness, which I strongly suggest you to use it. You don't need to take a snapshot because my PDF has all the links available. I save your work, you don't need to capture anything. So all of this will be made available to you later after my sessions. And FitBuddy, Active Fitness, Trigonometrics, all of these implements the sensor core, but not all are using it for fitness purpose. It can be used for games, right? It can be used for like the trip is actually for how long is the distance that you have traveled from point A to point B and how many stops that you have taken. All of these are available. You just need to know how to combine them together. You don't need to write your own SDK. You don't need to find the appropriate API because it's already made available. And the good news is that we are trying to make to get more devices that comes with sensor core. Right? So if you are developing on Windows, I hope that you're going to develop on Windows, of course. Right? Let me know. I will arrange a device for you if you don't have it. Right? Of course, you have to do your basic GUI first, your UI designs, your logics before I can pass you the device for testing and deployment. Right? Any question on the sensor core? Or are you targeting currently like using the iOS Health SDK? Or Android, I'm not sure any SDK available for this tracking. So sorry about that. Okay, so this is belongs to category A, right? The category A is using the built-in device, right? The built-in sensor to record down all the features which cannot be recorded by category B, the external tracker. There are a lot of data that you will not be able to capture with the external tracker, such as the GPS positions, such as the waypoint from point A to point B, because the external trackers is only recording whether your steps is increasing or not. It's kind of like a step counter with some extra features, but it's not as complicated or as complete, right, as what the sensor core can provide. Right, if there's no question, I'm going to go to the my last topic on the Windows Phone Quick Start. Right, all of these comes with a URL which links to a developer portals. You can download the SDK, you can download the software free of charge from them. So what the developer needs is a Windows 8.1, right? Because you need to build upon a Windows Phone 8.1 for Sensor Core to work. It only supports 8.1, right? And also the Visual Studio 2013 with update 3. All students studying in the science, technologies, and engineering and mathematics will have a free DreamSpark access. In case you don't have DreamSpark access from a campus, let me know. I'll give you a DreamSpark access. So what the DreamSpark access allows you is get a free license, you get a free Windows 8.1, you get a free Visual Studio 2013 Premium. All of this costs more than 1,000, right? Ringgit worth of licenses available for you, right? Throughout this whole project, throughout this whole campaign, right? And the license is perpetual. It means that you can use it even after you graduate, but not for business use. Right? Do let me know if you need any licenses for operating systems and also Visual Studio. Only go 3-in-1. Alright, so for Windows Phone, we start developing and design, right, with Blend and Visual Studio. So these two comes in one package. But if you install Visual Studio 2013 with update 3, select the Windows Phone, right, select the SDK, Windows Phone SDK, you'll get the Visual Studio and Blend together, as well as the emulator. So far, the emulator is able to simulate some of the sensors capabilities, like gyroscope, accelerometer, but not all of the features like NFC and stuff. Right? So in the end, you still need a real device to test. By that time, let me know. I'll give you a device. I will loan you a device, of course. But I hope that you'll win, because once you win, you get the device for free. Okay? And you develop using Visual Studio by coding, or you design using a Blend. Right? I guess you can see the last line is fine-tuned by editing HTML or XML. So why I say that is because in Windows Phone, there are a lot of languages that you can use. On the left-hand side is programming languages, the .NET language, which I highly recommend because most of the SDK are written in .NET. Right? You can use C#, you can use Ruby, either one, it doesn't matter. You can use a managed C++, it's not a standard C++ that you learn in your universities. It is a higher end one, and also is a lower access to the device. Or the third option is HTML5. If you want to do some presentation of data, you can launch even from a .NET to HTML5 directly by creating HTML5 page on Windows Phone. Right? And in case you don't know, Windows Phone 8.1 has a new IE that can even recognizes new syntaxes. For example, those designed for older platforms like